Good evening, welcome to the first of a series called Mondo Audio A-Go GO. This is going to be a series where I read out comics that are out of print or difficult to get hold of, or maybe somebody would just benefit from an audio version of it for whatever reason. Maybe you just like my voice and want something to accompany you. So tonight's episode will be taken from Comic Zone's Psycho Killer Celebrity Stalker Special number 1. And this video is dedicated to the memory of Denise Johnson. Rest in peace, Denise. I enjoyed your work very much. John Hinckley. John Hinckley was born in 1956. The Hinckley family ran a profitable oil and gas drilling company. Hinckley's family moved from Oklahoma to University Park, Texas, a wealthy suburb of Dallas, and then on to the more prestigious Highland Park in about 1966. During his childhood, Hinckley appeared to fit in with his classmates and his extremely popular sister and brother. He played football and was elected president of his homeroom in 7th and 8th grades. Hinckley was good at conforming to what he thought the world wanted him to be. Highland Park High School, one of the best public schools in the US, proved too much for Hinckley. He couldn't hold his own academically, socially, or athletically. Worse, Hinckley's older sister Diane was homecoming queen, an extremely popular pretty girl. Hinckley was known as Diane's brother. Always shy, Hinckley began to become reclusive. Always shy, John Hinckley began to become reclusive. Hinckley chose Texas Tech in Lubbock as his college of choice. Texas Tech is known as a party school. Its academic standards are not high, however. Hinckley could hold his own academically. Since he didn't drink nor use drugs, Hinckley didn't fit in. Since he didn't drink or use drugs, Hinckley did not fit in socially. As in grammar school and high school, he made no friends. Hinckley enrolled in business classes, then changed to liberal arts. He tried various courses, but was successful at none of them. He dropped out of college for a while and lived in Hollywood. He returned to Lubbock, changing his major again, this time to English. In 1976, the movie Taxi Driver starring Robert De Niro hit movie theaters. Hinckley saw the movie and read the book, and became fascinated with a young actress called Jodie Foster. In the movie, De Niro stars as a cabbie with an obsession for a political campaign worker. In order to gain the attention of the girl, De Niro plans the assassination of the politician she is working for. Foster stars as a very young prostitute who is befriended by the psychotic cabbie, and the cabbie kills Iris's pimp at the end of the movie. After seeing Taxi Driver, Hinckley began a fantasy romance with Jodie Foster. He left college and moved to Hollywood to be closer to her. He returned to Lubbock when he couldn't find employment in Hollywood. In 1978, after returning from Hollywood and making no progress at college, Hinckley joined the National Socialist Party of America, better known as Nazis. In 1978, Hinckley participated in a Nazi demonstration in St. Louis, Missouri. Other demonstrations took place in Skokie, Illinois, a wealthy Jewish community. Up to the time of the St. Louis demonstration, Hinckley was quiet and non-violent. Something in him snapped at the demonstration. He screamed racial slurs and became agitated. After the demonstration, Hinckley decided he needed to take a more dramatic stance against his perceived enemies. He wrote to Nazi party members expressing the need to shoot someone. He wrote of leaving Lubbock and moving to North Carolina. During the summer of 1979, Hinckley took a German history course at the college. He decided to write his term report on Hitler's Mein Kampf, receiving an A+ on the receiving an A- on the 3-page paper. That summer, Hinckley received notice that his membership in the Nazi Party was not renewed. Evidently, his views were too violent for the party. He had Nazi Party leaders concerned. Although he showed no real emotion in being dropped by the Nazis, Hinckley bought his first guns that summer. In February 1980, John Hinckley went to see a psychiatrist. The doctor found him to be depressed and prescribed him with Valium, an antidepressant drug. Jodie Foster had been accepted at Yale University in 1980 and her address was common knowledge on the campus. Hinckley decided to visit his longtime love at her home. Going to New Haven, where the Yale campus is located, and carrying the guns he bought previously, Hinckley spoke with a bartender at the bar near the campus, telling the man he was Jodie Foster's boyfriend. Hinckley did not see Foster while he was in New Haven, however he did find her room and slipped letters underneath her door. He then left New Haven and moved on to Tennessee. When Hinckley arrived in Nashville, he attempted to board a flight to New York, carrying 3 guns concealed on his person. It just so happened that President Jimmy Carter was in Nashville at Opryland. Hinckley's guns were confiscated by the Nashville police. He was fined $50 and let go. 4 days later, Hinckley was in Dallas, Texas, buying more guns. He purchased 2 .22 caliber revolvers from Rocky's pawn shop. Rocky openly advertises that guns don't cause crime any more than flies cause garbage. Going back to his apartment in Lubbock, Hinckley told the building maintenance man that all political leaders should be done away with. He continued wandering, showing up at his parents' new home in Colorado. A threatening letter was sent to Jodie Foster from Colorado. The writer threatened to kidnap Foster for romantic reasons. Hinckley's already bizarre behaviour worsened in Colorado. He cut out news reports of assassination attempts, writing constantly in his diary, and kept his guns nearby. In an attempt to control his wayward son, Mr. Hinckley cut off John's money. Hinckley began to write more and more letters to Foster. He spoke to her on the phone several times. During the conversations, Jodie made it clear that she wanted nothing to do with Hinckley. He would come and go to the Yale campus. Often he would stand near her door waiting to get a glimpse of her. He slipped letters and poems underneath her door. Kill.